Hi GameJew. My question to you is, which game is your favorite game of all time? Is it this? Or maybe some other games? Yeah.
Ask GameJew. This is probably the one I get asked the most. I thank you very much, Mr. Dausch. Now, you would think that maybe this would be my favorite game. It's even this, or more likely this. Sometimes maybe to a lesser extent, this would be my favorite game. And while each of these games has a very extremely special place in my heart, the first 4 Mario games, look at me, just look at me. So, but, that's too easy. Well, ActRaiser. Have you ever heard of ActRaiser? I'll bet you have, because they just released it on Virtual Console. But if you haven't, and you have a Wii, get on your Wii, go right now, and buy it. Because it's a really, 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 really good game. And I love it. So let's talk about ActRaiser. What makes it so great? Well, the first thing that you'll notice about ActRaiser is the music. The music on the Super Nintendo, the sound chip on the Super Nintendo, is, you know, renowned for how great it is. And this was one of the very first games to be released on the Super Nintendo, and it really showed off the technical superiority of the sound chip on the SNES versus the Genesis. What else? So basically ActRaiser is like action RPG running through the level, side-scroller action type thing. The action platforming is pretty straightforward. You know, you're basically a god who goes through and has to kill a bunch of monsters, and you got a sword, and you make this great sound that sounds like huh, 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 like that. And if you're in a cave, it's like it reverberates. It's like huh, 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 like that. And the bosses are really great. The monsters are really great. The controls are not perfect. It's the kind of controls where, you know, they're a little stiff in places, but it works really well for what it is. And then, so what you do is you go into there's a bunch of different areas. And as the god, you have to go into each area, defeat all the monsters, and then once you've defeated the monsters, then the land is free for the people to start building a life for themselves. And once that starts, you basically sort of help them build a life for themselves. So you burn bushes with your lightning, you help their crops grow with your rain, you blow the wind, which does a bunch of things. You have like all these god powers that do all kinds of crazy stuff to help the people grow. And as they progress, the people like get nicer and nicer houses, and it's really satisfying to see your little city build up and progress, and they get better, and there's all kinds of dynamics between like one town and the next town, and you have to get a certain thing from one town to like help the people in the next town over here and over there and all over the place. It's a really long for its time, satisfying game. By the time you get to the end, you just say, yes, I have had a great experience, and I'm ready to have that experience again and again and again and again. You're never going to want to stop playing it. So a favorite game. Does anyone really have like a favorite game? I'm not sure. Let me tell you another game, Marble Madness. Now I have a feeling more of you have heard of this game than have probably heard of ActRaiser, but if you haven't, it's not on Virtual Console. Hopefully it will be eventually. It started out in the arcade, and I always played the Nintendo version. It's a fantastic game. I think there's only like 6 levels. The music in this game is really good too. There's only like 6 levels. It's hard. This game, by the time you get to the end, it's brutal. It's brutally hard. It's a hard game, but really satisfying when you're able to do it, and addicting. A guy named Mark Cerny made this game, and he actually does consulting now for Naughty Dog, who made Jak and Daxter, and also Insomniac, who do Ratchet and Clank. And if you ever listen to that guy talk, he's really smart and just kind of so. He's almost robot-like. I mean, he's like robot-like in his precision and the way he talks, and you can just see why he made such an amazing game. He was very young when he made this. I think like 17 or something. So Marble Madness. I think these are the 2 that you need to know about that are kind of really near and dear to my heart. And for me, yeah, it is really a matter of like how many times can I play it without getting bored. And I will never, ever, ever, ever be bored of these games. I'll play them probably for the rest of my life. I can't wait to have kids and share the games with them. And yeah, that's what a great game is for me. It's something that I'll be able to play forever and never be sick of.